Rocking that techno right now, I believe. I don't know if he's on an HB or a techno just yet. I know he'd made mention last time we talked about getting into a techno ride. That is your leader coming down the straightaway now. We are 330 down, 130 left to go. Brian Gerber now to the top of the board. He's on a 13.518, just ahead of Billy. Only 1/10 ahead right now. Hunter going to drop down. Had a bit of a long lap on the last one. Only lost 3 seconds, but it was still enough to drop him from 1 to 3. Brian Gerber trying to secure TQ. Billy's going to fire right back with a 23.7. That is your gray and purple. Nothing but clean track ahead right now. Trying to lock up an early TQ here in round 1. Coming out next is going to be race number 5, Open E-Buggy. That's going to be Ryan, Bobby, Chad, JC, Shane, Brandon, and Rylan. Trouble on the kicker. All clear, all clear. Billy starting to pace away a little bit right now. David Higgins starting to find some pace, finds himself now in the top 3. How is this going to sort your 2 points leaders between Hunter and John, 4 and 5 right now? Finding themselves a little off pace early on here. It's going to make for some good racing come main time. Hunter Hayes, you're the only one done. Everybody else is still live. Austin, you're done with a hot lap in the last lap. David, you're done. John Shaw, you're done.
Billy Massengill done.
Billy, you're done. Waiting on a finish from Brian and Brandon. When you cross, you will be finished.
Brian Gerber done.
Brian, you're done. And finish from one more.
All drivers are finished.
And all drivers are finished. Ticking it down. It's going to be Billy Massengill with a reset on a 13.515. Brian Gerber in the 2 at 13.522. And Hunter Hayes running out the top 3.
The race is completed.
Austin, I can go ahead and give you a minute. Is Rylan running your buggy? No? Okay. Sorry, I know you asked me to space you apart. I completely forgot. I'm not going to lie.
Stinky. Bobby Smith. Ryan Noland. Bad Chad.
Looking for a check from JC, Brandon, and Rylan. Rylan's not running? All right.
JC Hunt.
All right, just looking for a check from Brandon Greenwell. Believe that's him coming across the line. Yes, it is. All right, everybody's checked in. Let's do an all stop on the straightaway. All stop on the straightaway. All right, looks like everybody's checked in. If you guys want to go back behind the line a little more, let's go behind that bump. Just make sure I don't catch you guys too early. I still see one car a little early. You want to push yourself back. Thank you very much. All right, it's going to be 5 minutes. Space yourself out. You guys know what to do. We're going to be going live in less than 5. And here we go. Looks like we got 3 different cars trying to be the first one off the line. Cruising through a little pack through the center section right now. Bit of carnage over the kicker. One over the kicker still. Got one coming, one coming. And you're good to go. I believe that may have been our point leader, Ryan Nolan, getting caught up in that. Looked like Shane got a little swirling, just happened to catch him over that kicker section. Maybe going to allow some time to hopefully get somebody to sneak in for that top spot. But right now, it is a minute down, 4 minutes left to go. How about Chad Cup to the point? 14-5-13, ripping off a 22-0 first time by. Last I knew, I believe Chad was still running that Swarks ride. Looking good, doing everything right. Going to back it up with another 22 flat. Bringing some serious pace here today from Bad Chad. Mr. N2RC himself. Showing that even though he owns a hobby shop, he can still lay it down out here. We are $130 down, 3:30 left to go. Right now, it is still Chad leading the way. Bobby Smith in that 2 on a 14-5-21. Only 2 drivers on a 14. Ryan Nolan's going to find himself in that 3 spot after that early collision with Shane. How about Brandon Greenwell now jumping up to the 3rd spot? He's on a 22-4 last time by. Chad and Bobby trying to fight for that top spot. They're separated by about 3 seconds on the clock. Looks like Chad right now is just trying to keep Bobby behind, though. Trying to lock up TQ here early on. Bobby's got to try to find a way by. Make up just a little time up on Chad here. Ryan Nolan starting to close the gap. He just ran a 21-8. First driver into the 21s. We are at that halfway point. Coming out next is going to be race 6, Sportsman E-Truck. You're going to be looking for Brian, Colton, Billy, Brandon, Jamar, Sean, and James. But taking a look back at our racing action, it is still Chad leading it out right now, doing everything right. Not a single lap under a 23. I should say over a 23 in this case. So he is running clean and consistent. Bobby trying to find a way by, gets it wrong, stuck on the wing. How is that going to shake things up right now? Is Nolan going to try to close a gap? He needs to make up about 5 seconds on your leader, Chad, right now. Track looking pretty prime today. Put plenty of water on it, and it is looking good right now. Not too much dust out there. Huge shout out to our track maintenance crew helping us fill some of the holes for this last race, and it looks smooth as butter out there. Your running order, it is still Chad at the top of the board. Ryan in that 2, Bobby in the 3, Greenwell in the 4, Shane in the 5, and JC rounding out your top 6.
1 minute left.
Brandon and Bobby duking it out for that top 3 right now. Those two only separated by about 7/10 on the clock. Greenwell's in that all blue ride, yellow rims. Very easy car to see out there. Bobby rocking his iconic colors, the pink, blue, and yellow.
Three, two, one.
That is time. Drivers, keep on going until the computer says you're done.
Sting
Ryan
done.
going to need a good lap
Bobby
here to
Smith done.
try to get away that TQ time from Chad.
Brandon Greenwell done.
Waiting on a finish from Chad, Ryan, and JC.
Ryan Nolan done.
Ryan, you're done.
Bad Chad done.
Chad, you're done. And waiting on a finish from one.
All drivers are finished.
And all drivers are finished.
JC Hunt
Taking
done.
it down is going to be Chad Cup to the top of the board, set in TQ with a 14.517. Ryan Nolan in the 2 with a 14.519. And Brandon Greenwell rounding out your top 3.
The race is completed.
Good racing there across those 3 drivers. Coming out next is going to be race 6, Sportsman E-Truggy. You guys know who you are. Going to need all my marshals from last race. Chad Cup. Hunter. Is Chad's front rim cracked? Did I see that right? Look at his front right rim. Look at Chad's front right rim.
Colton Saylor.
Is it cracked? Looks like it is from up here. All right, going to need checks from Billy, Brandon, Jamar, Sean, and James.
Jamar Keys. Billy Massengill.
Bobby, can I send you to either that middle cone or the start of the straightaway?
Sean Mahoney.
Bobby, can I have you take a middle cone or the start of the straightaway? Bobby Smith, can you take either that middle cone or the start of the straightaway? Whatever one works. Looks like we might need one more volunteer marshal. Just need one either at the start of the straightaway. Gonna need one volunteer at the start of the straightaway, and we can keep this show rolling here. Gonna need one for the start of the straightaway. One for the start of the straightaway. Are you talking check-in? Yeah, I just want to make sure all the marshals out there. Do you just want to cross the line for me, James?
JT Keaton.
And a check from Brandon Smith if you're out there. Brandon, if you want to cross the line for me. Need a check from Brandon Smith if you're out there. Looks like Ken's going to help us out. Thank you very much, sir. All right, we got our marshals, got our trucks out there. All right, driver's going to be a 5-minute race. Make sure you guys space yourself out. We're going to be going live in less than 5. And here we go for race 6, Sportsman E-Truggy. One thing I'll be mentioning throughout the day is going to be our points. It looks like Brian Gerber right now is at the top of the board. He's looking to try to secure this top spot. Thought Steve Hobson was going to be here today, but looks like he's out, so that's going to shake some things up here for Sportsman E-Truggy, as he was your number 2 contender in our point series. Right now, with 1 minute down, 4 minutes left to go, it is Billy Massengill getting it done. He's on a 13.503. Brian Gerber now in that 2 on a 13.505. Looks like Billy might be out early with a broken front right link. He was on a good run there, trying to take over that top spot away from Brian Gerber. Still plenty of racing action left, though. Getting back in round number 2. Little bit of carnage coming over that second double. That's going to put Brian Gerber to the top of the board. He's on a 13.511. James Keaton finds himself in that 2. Jamar Keys in the number 3. Right now, your leader, he's on a 13.511 pace. Looking good out there right now. I believe Brian always rocks the all-white scheme. Yes, it is with a yellow wing. Coming down the straightaway now, that is your leader. Over the double-double he goes. How about James Keaton, though? First one of the 22s, 22.9 last time by. We are 2:30 down, 2:30 left to go. We are at that halfway point. Trouble in the double-double. You're all clear after this second car. All clear, all clear. Tough spot to be in right there. A little bit of a no man's land. Shane going to get him going early once again, though. Coming out next is going to be race number 7. Going to be our open e-truggy class. Going to need Greg, Tim, JC, Derek, and Rylan. But taking a look back at our racing action, it is Brian Gerber to the top of the board. He's on a 13.505 pace. That is your all-white truck. Jamar Keys now going to find himself in that 2. Brian built up a pretty good gap from Jamar Keys in that second spot. Brian's in that all-white truck, making his way over the double-double now. Clean and consistent, looking good. Under the crossover he goes. Past a factory team sign, and now making his way over the crossover. Getting a little swirly, but gets it back going straight again. Your leader almost rolling out of the park right there. But still managing to get it done coming down the straightaway now. Once again, if you guys want to check us out on our lives, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Live Time. Make sure to check us out.
1 minute left.
With only 1 minute left to go. Your leader getting it wrong. Jamar trying to close the gap right now. He's got quite a hefty gap to make up, but he's running some clean and consistent laps. 23.6 last time by. Long lap here for Brian. Showing me in the red right now. Jamar going to shrink that gap now to 9.3. Right now, your running order is Brian, Jamar, James, Colton, and Sean as we come to a close in this race.
3, 2, 1.
That is time. Keep on going until the computer says you're done.
Keaton done.
James Keaton, you're the only one
done.
done. Colton, you're done. Everybody else is still live. Everybody else is still live. Sean, you're still live. Here comes Brian.
Done.
Waiting on a finish from Jamar and Sean. Last 2 to finish. 2 to finish. 2 to finish. Let's keep all my marshals out there.
Jamar
Got one
Keys
truck still making its way around now. Trying to get himself going over that crossover. And coming down the straightaway.
All drivers are finished.
And all drivers are finished.
Sean
Taking it
Mahoney
down is going to be Brian Gerber with a new TQ. 13.512. Jamar in that 2. And James Keaton in that top 3
The
spot.
race is completed.
Coming out next, it is going to be race number 7. Open e-truggy. Going to be looking for Greg, Tim, JC, Derek, and Rylan.
Ripon Rylan Rubel. Greg Swiatek. Tim Brisbane.
Let's take a look at some points while we got some time. Also, just a reminder, if you guys are hungry, make sure you make your way over to the blow-off station over on the back side. Tom's cooking some burgers, cooking some hot dogs, all sorts of goodies over there. Make sure you take a stop by. If you've got a little bit of free time, definitely a good spot to hit. We got plenty of food here today.
Derek Body.
Just waiting on a check from JC. Going to do an all stop on the straightaway. All stop on the straightaway. All stop on the straightaway. Looking for a check from JC Hunt. Believe that might be JC right there.
Hunt.
Yes, it is. All right, perfect. Everybody looking good. How are we looking on marshals out there? Might need a little help in the marshaling department. Can I get one marshal in the center and one by the ROCCK Racing sign? Gonna need two marshals out there. Gonna need two marshals, two marshals. Looks like we got one. Thank you very much, sir. Looks like Tony's gonna help us out as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much on the marshaling help, guys. Keeping the program moving along. All right, looking good. All right, space yourself out, guys. It's going to be a 5-minute race. We're going to be going live in less than 5. And we are live here for Open E-Truggy. Somebody airing it out. Just happened to take a quick look back over that kicker. I might think that might be Tim Brisbane. Tell you what, he's been looking pretty good in his trucks recently. Starting to figure those trucks out and dialing in some good laps right now. Right now, we are a minute down with 3:50 left to go. It is Rylan Rubel to the top of the board, the Mohawk machine. Rocking a 14.514 pace. Greg Swiatek in the 2. Only 3.4 back from your leader. JC Hunt in the 3. Tim in that 4. And Derek Bodie rounding out your top 5. Great battle going on 2 through 4. It is only separated by maybe 4 seconds on the clock between Greg, JC, and Tim. Rylan right now just trying to do everything right, checking out early. Dare I say checking out, though. Greg is only 5.5 back from your leader, Rylan Rubel. Rylan going to have his hands full today. Greg on point right now. Greg is rocking that white and orange. I believe he's running a Techno, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, he's looking good in that truck. Coming out next is going to be race number 8. And it's going to be Open Nitro Buggy.
2 minutes left.
3 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. It is still Rylan Rubel leading the way. Greg Swiatek in that 2, 8.4 back now. But how about Tim Brisbane? Only a 10th back from that number 2 spot. Looks like Rylan's starting to push the pace a little bit, and Tim's just trying to run away. But in turn, he's laying down some heaters. Rylan going for the jump pass. Almost makes it happen, but gets it a little sideways. Looks like Tim's going to let him by. That may allow Greg to jump up into that top spot. It's going to be close. But it looks like Greg may have had a bit of a long lap himself.
One minute left.
How about a 21.8 from your leader? First 21 we've seen in the race. Tim trying to close the gap just a little bit on Greg. He only needs maybe a 10th at best. Just as I say that, Tim now going to take over that top spot in that number 2.
Three.
We only have 5 seconds left. 5 seconds left, drivers. Keep on going until the computer says you're done. Keep on going. Keep on going.
Derek Body done.
Derek, you're the only one done.
Tim Brisbane done.
Tim Brisbane, you're done. Everybody else will be finished when you cross the line. Got 3 to finish.
Ripon Rylan Rubel done.
Rylan, you're done. JC, you're done with a hot lap on the last lap. And Greg, you're done. Picking it down and setting TQ is going to be Rylan Rubel with a 13.505. Looks like Rylan might have had a bit of a long lap. Tim Brisbane almost sniped away the TQ. He was only 2 seconds back from your leader. Greg Swiatek going to round out your top 3.
The race is completed.
Coming out next is going to be race number 8, Open Nitro Buggy. I'm going to need all my drivers from last race and maybe 2 more. Going to need 2 volunteers for this race. Tony's going to help me with 1. Thank you very much, sir. Once again, I'm going to need all my drivers from last race and maybe an extra volunteer. Let's start getting our marshals out there.
Brandon Greenwell. Seth Mr. Death Roulette. Ken Ming. Ryan Noland. Billy Massengill.
Looks like Greg is going to help me out. Thank you very much, sir. All right, just going to need 1 marshal over on the far right. 1 marshal on that far right side. Need 1 volunteer marshal. 1 volunteer marshal on that far right side. It's a 5-minute race. It goes by quick. Just need 1 marshal on the far right while we start getting people checked in.
Jason Herrera. Stinky.
Need 1 volunteer marshal on the far right side of the track. 1 volunteer. Best part is with 5-minute qualifiers, they get over quick. Shouldn't stick you out there too long. Austin Rubin's going to help us out. Thank you very much, sir. All right, let's start bringing him in for fuel. Bring him in for fuel. Bring him in for fuel. Going to put 30 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds on the clock. If you guys need fuel, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in. $20 seconds. 20 seconds. 20 seconds on the clock. And 10 seconds, drivers. 10 seconds. And we're going to be going live in less than 5. And here we go for Open Nitro Buggy. Little bit of a mix here today. We got a bit of Sportsman, bit of Open Nitro. And everybody is on the clock. Here we go. Nitro Buggy's ripping today. Good turnout here for Nitro. Right now, we are 1 minute down, 4 minutes left to go. For our Open Nitro Buggy, it is Bobby Smith to the top of the board. How about Shane Coffey now to the top of the board? He's on a 14.516. Bobby on a 14.519. Brandon Greenwell going to find himself in that number 3 spot with a 14.5 flat. Taking a look back at our Sportsman Nitro Buggy, it is all Seth Rowlett getting everything right. He's on a 13.518. Jason Herrera going to match him with a 13.518. Oh, my God, it is switching every lap. Billy Massengale only a 10th back from these two. Gene up in the fight. 1 through 4 for Sportsman. It is only 2 seconds. You could throw a blanket over him. Let's take a lap around with your leader, Shane Coffey. He's in the dark blue and pink. Through the double-double he goes. Going a little wide, corrects it. Now under the crossover on the left side of the track. Little whip for the fans over the kicker he goes. That buggy's looking dialed out there. Rocking that techno machine. How about a 21.7? Absolutely flying out there for Shane Coffey right now. With 220 down, 240 left to go. How about Billy Massengale up to the top spot? Jason Herrera in that number 2. That may have been, I believe, Ryan Noland. See a whole lot of pink wings out there. Usually that's how I follow Ryan Noland's car, but I see 3 of them now. With 245 down, 215 left to go. Jason Herrera trying to hunt down Billy for that top spot. He's only 1.2 back on the clock. Ryan Noland now going to find himself in the top spot. Bit of trouble coming onto the straightaway. I believe that was Bobby. He was one of your contenders for the top spot. Ryan Noland on a long lap. Brandon Greenwell now going to find himself for the top spot for Open Nitro Buggy. It is changing every lap right now. Jason Herrera now to the top spot for Sportsman. Let's take a lap around with Brandon Greenwell next time by. He typically rocks the all blue, but I believe he's on a bit of a long lap. Now Nolan going to sneak back to the top of the spot, or top of the board, I should say. Billy Massengale going to find himself now in the top spot for Sportsman Nitro. It is changing every lap here. Who wants the top spot? With 4 minutes down, 1 minute left to go.
1 minute left.
Billy Massengale getting it wrong, coming under the crossover. Jason Herrera sees that opening to try to secure a top spot here early on. Coming out next is going to be race 9, open forward drive SCT. Make sure you guys are ready to go. You know who you are. Trouble on the kicker, trouble on the kicker. All clear, all clear. Man, it's so hard to pick what race to watch right now between Sportsman and Open. Great battles going on 1 through 3 in both of those classes right now.
Three, two.
Jason Herrera right now leading the way, but Gene has something to say about it. He's only 2/10 back on the last lap. If he can string a good one here, he might secure that top spot in Sportsman Nitro Buggy.
Billy Massengill done.
Ryan Noland, you're done. Seth Rowlett, you're done. Billy Massengill, you're done. Brandon Greenwell, you're done. Everybody else is still live. Shane Coffey, you're done.
Ken Ming done.
You will be done when you cross the line.
Bobby Smith done.
And everybody is done. Everybody's done. Bring them into the pits. Taking it down for our open Nitro Buggy is Ryan Nolan. He's on a 13.502. Shane just barely missing out with a 13.503. And Brandon Greenwell in that top 3. How about Gene Sabatier on that last lap? Going to secure away a top spot. He's going to set himself in the TQ with a 13.521. Seth Rowlett in that 2. And Jason Herrera in the number 3.
The race is completed.
Great battles going on there. Just giving us an insight to what's going to be going down in the mains for our Nitro. Going to be looking for all sorts of drivers here for open forward drive SCT. Jason, I'll go ahead and give you a minute. I know you're back to back. No rush by any means. No rush.
Bad chat.
Going to need all my marshals from last race.
Derek Body. Tony Hall. Sean Holloway. Austin Rubin.
Still waiting on a check from James Keaton, Jason Herrera, Rylan Rubel, and Alex Keaton. Waiting on a check from 4. Looking for Rylan Rubel. Rylan Rubel. Here he comes.
Jason Herrera. Ripon Rylan Rubel.
All right, need a check from Alex Keaton and James Keaton. You guys want to cross the line? Did you say you're racing your dad's truck? All right, just cross the line for me. I'm getting no check on that truck. No check on that truck. If you just want to take a quick look, see if we're blinking on the truck. Looks like Jacob's going to help him out here. I'll do my best to hand count you. One of the rookie mistakes. No transponder inside the truck for round number 1. That's all right, though. I'll do my best, like I said, to hand count you. All right, looking good on Marshall's out there. All right, drivers, this is a 5-minute race. Space yourself out. We're going to be going live in less than 5. And here we go for Open 4-Drive SCT. Chad Cup going to lead the way. Hot off a win in Open E-Buggy. Let's give these guys a minute to race, sort themselves out, see how everything sorts. With 120 down and 330 left to go, it is Rylan Rubel to the top of the board. Derek Bodie in the 2. Austin Rubin now in that number 3. Good battle going on 1 and 2 between Rylan and Derek Bodie. Rylan is rocking the all orange scheme right now, coming down the straightaway. Through the double he goes. Believe most of the trucks on the grid here are all technos for the most part. Looks like Chad had a bit of a rough start, had 228s early on, but he's trying to make up some time right now, starting to climb back up the board. Your running order is Rylan in that 1, Austin in the 2, Sean Holloway in the 3, Jason in the 4, and Chad rounding out your top 5. Little more than the halfway point right now. How about Austin Rubin starting to close the gap on Rylan Rubel? Rylan's running good, but Austin is only 3.5 back, starting to find some serious pace in that techno machine. Coming out next is going to be race number 10. That's going to be our last race of the round.
2 minutes left.
Looking for Tim, John, and Seth. We are 330 down, 130 left to go. Just a quick reminder, if you guys are hungry, make sure you take a stop over behind the podiums or over by the blow-off station, whatever you want to call it. Tom is cooking burgers, dogs, and has a whole bunch of snacks. One of the main attractions here today. We are 4 minutes down, 1 minute left to go.
1 minute left.
Right now, it is Rylan Rubel still leading the way. Chad Cup starting to close that gap. After a bit of a rough start, he now finds himself in that 2. How about a 23.5 fast lap of the race for Chad? Austin Rubin in the 3. Austin only one in the 22s right now. If he can string a few of those together, put himself in the contention for that top spot. Always a contender here in that open 4-drive SCT division.
3, 2, 1.
That is time. That is time, drivers. Keep on going until the computer says you're done. Derek, you're still live. Austin, you're done. Sean, you're still live. Keep on going. Keep on going.
David Higgins done. Ripon Rylan Rubel done.
Alex, you're still live. Next time by, you will be finished.
Jason Herrera done.
Looks like Alex going for a bit of a tumble.
Derek Body done.
Got one to finish. One to finish here. Still have one truck to finish.
Sean Holloway done.
One still coming around. As he makes his way over the crossover now. And that is time. Taking it down is going to be Rylan Rubel setting a TQ for round number 1 with a 13.522. Chad going to find himself in that number 2. And Austin rounding out your top 3. Coming out next is going to be our last race of the round. Race 10, Open Nitro Truggy. Going to be looking for Tim, John, and Seth. Got quite a few marshals for this race. If you guys don't get a chance to marshal, if you want to help me out early in round number 2, that would be much appreciated. So if you can't find a spot now, make sure you help me out in the start of round number 2.
Seth Mr. Death Roulette. Tim Brisbane.
All right, looking pretty good on marshals right now. Just need a check from John Shaw. Looking for John Shaw. John Shaw. Oh, I see him out there. My apologies.
John Shaw.
There we go. All right, going to go ahead and give it a 30-second call. 30 seconds on the clock. If you guys need fuel, bring them in now. Even if you guys want to cross over the pipe, whatever works. Bring them in for fuel if you need them. All right, looks like we only got one in for fuel. All right, I believe you will be the first one by, John. We're going to be going live in less than 5. And here we go for Open Nitro Truggy. Trouble at the start of the straightaway. I believe that was Tim for his first lap. But still, plenty of racing left here as we're only 40 seconds into a 5-minute race. Justin Mers, if you want to take a stop over at the booth when you are free, I'll go ahead and get you signed up for round number 2. But taking a look back at our racing action, we are 120 down and 340 left to go. It is John Shaw leading the way. He's on a 13.506. Seth Rowlett in that 2 with a 13.508. Tim Brisbane rocking a 13.521. Just a reminder once again, guys, if you are hungry, make sure you make your way over to the food area over by Podiums. Tom's cooking burgers, dogs, and has a whole bunch of snacks and even drinks over there. It is totally free. You don't have to pay anything as long as you're racing today. You're more than welcome to take what you want. But taking a look back at our racing action, how about Seth Rowlett now to the top of the board? Looks like he found his way around John. He's on a 13.509 right now. Rocking the gold, red, yellow wing. Through the double-double he goes. Tim, last time by, though, going to lay down a heater with a 22-0. Finds himself now in that top spot. Just as I say that, almost gave him a little bit of a curse. Gets a little sideways as he comes through that center section. Seth going to jump now back to the top of the board. Seth getting it wrong. Gets a little crossed up underneath that crossover section. Tim going to get it wrong.
Two minutes left.
John Shaw now to the top of the board. 1, 2, and 3. It is still anybody's race right now for that top spot. We are 3:30 down, 1:30 left to go. It is still John Shaw leading the way. Seth Rowlett only 0.4 back from your leader. Tim Brisbane only 2.5 back from those two. Looks like John's just trying to stay clean and consistent. Clean track ahead of him right now. He ran a 23.2 last time by, his hot lap of the race. Tim going to jump back up to that number 2. 4 minutes down, 1 minute left to go. Let's take a lap around with your leader, John Shaw, in that red and white. As he comes down that straightaway now. Over the double-double he goes. Almost clips the pipe, but almost perfect line through there. Coming through the rollers into the crossover now. Gonna let up just a little bit, but just makes it over that kicker. Great line. Great recovery right there. For a 23.4.
3, 2, 1.
That is time, drivers. That is time. Keep on going until the computer says you're done. But next time by, you should be done. It's going to be close at the line here.
John Shaw done.
John Shaw with a 23.0. Good lap from him. Tim Brisbane coming across 22.3 for him.
All drivers are
and
finished.
Seth going to come across in that
Mr.
number
Death
3. So
Roulette
taking it down is going to be Tim Brisbane on that second to last lap. Laid down a couple of heaters. Going to reset TQ for a 13.511. John Shaw in the 2 for 13.513. And Seth Rowlett rounding out your top 3.
The race is completed.
No worries. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do about a 15-minute break here. We're going to get resorted for round 2. Most of the races should pretty much be the same. Sportsman E-Buggy might change just a little bit. I think outside of that, it should be the same running order. If you guys still don't have any raffle tickets for whatever reason, make your way over to the booth. But if you got some free time, make your way over to the food area. Get yourself a nice burger or dog. Let's go ahead and aim for a 12:55 start. That gives us about 10 minutes from our start, 12:55. If I could have members of my track maintenance crew out there, I'll go ahead and help you guys out. Get the track blown off. Just throw a little bit of water on the outside. I don't think we need any in the groove by any means. Just want to make sure we keep the dust down today and give you guys prime racing conditions. We're going to be shutting down the track, Do you just talking about water on the outside? Yeah. I'll be down in a minute. I'll help you out. Just getting everything sorted for round 2. Let's actually go ahead and aim for a 1 o'clock start, 1 o'clock start. So that gives us now about 12 minutes. Gives you guys a little extra time in between round 1 and round 2. We're actually making pretty good time here. So go ahead and give you guys a little bit extra time if you want to go stop, get some food, check out the track a little bit. Also, we are live. We are live up for round number 2. The only thing that really changed was Sportsman E-Buggy. Make sure you guys are where you're supposed to be. There's a couple of guys that changed on the resort. Made sure we had an A sort and a B sort. So make sure you are in the right race, for, whether it's race 3 or race 4 for Sportsman E-Buggy. Outside of that, you should be in the same exact race. Griffin and Justin, I just dragged you guys in, so it might take a second update. All right, just making a quick announcement. We're going to go ahead and get started with round number 2. But once again, if you guys are still hungry, grill will be open for about another 15 or 20 minutes at best. So make sure you make your way over. Go see Tom. We still got plenty of burgers and dogs. Even if you want to go back for a second, feel free. We still have plenty of food, still plenty of drinks, snacks, everything. Try to help us out. Use some of this food if you guys are hungry. Please make your way over. But I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Jacob Rubel here for about probably 10 or 15 minutes. Going to get us started on some of our early races, and we'll get going here for round number 2.
All right, folks, the time is 1:02. Let's bring them out for junior novice, 15 and under. That's Lyndon Rowett, Colby Hunt, Camden Nolan, and Griffin Mertz. Let's bring them out and get it rolling. Our marshals for this race are the last race of the qualifiers, which is race number 10, Open Nitro Truggy. So Tim Brisbane, John Shaw, and Seth Rowett out to marshal, please. We're going to go ahead and get round 2 of qualifying underway. So turn it down. Jacob's too loud. Bring them out for the junior novice. Qualifier number 2, the last qualifier of the day. Still looking for Tim Brisbane, John Shaw, and Seth Rowett to marshal. I'll need a couple of volunteers as well. We'll get this rolling. Race number 2, you guys will need to be on deck. You'll be up here in about 5 minutes. That's Spec Slash, Tony Hall, Colton Saylor, and Justin Mertz. You guys will need to be on deck. There comes Tim Brisbane out to marshal. Thank you very much, Tim. Typically one of the first on the hatch. Brandon Smith going to come out and help us. Thank you, Brandon. He's even got a burger still in his hand. He's planning on doing work. Guys, if you see Andrew and Tom Bishop, make sure you give them a high five. Tell them thank you. This series was only because of their efforts. They have ran everything to do with this series, from the prize table to the announcing of every race to lining up the dates, even cooking food for us today. So make sure if you see the Bishops, you guys give them a high five. Tell them thank you for their efforts. We really appreciate them and all that they have brought to ROCCK Racing.
Colby Hunt. Lennon Roulette.
All right, I got all my drivers checked in. I need some marshals. Uh-oh. Justin's got to put a battery in real quick. No problem. You got enough time, buddy. You got enough time. You're chilling. I still need a couple of marshals anyway. Could I get I really need 2 marshals. I could maybe settle for 1. Yeah, I see it. I've actually got 3 empty cones. So, could I get some volunteer marshal help, please? Look at JC making his way out. My man. Thank you, sir. Can I get a couple of other volunteers? I need see, JC can go to the middle. I really need 1 at the crossover at least. I need 1 more volunteer marshal at least. I could use 2, but I need at least 1 to get this started. 1 volunteer marshal to help me out. Thank you, JC. Oh, Tony's coming. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, young man. Tony's going to be racking up the points championships today. He's been rolling this series. All right, so got all my marshals. Yeah, just make your way out to that crossover there, Tony, if you don't care. Justin's getting his battery put in, then we'll get it underway. No big deal. I'll give Justin a couple seconds there. He missed the first qualifier with the dreaded air conditioner issues of East Tennessee. I know we've all been there. It's getting about that season. This hot, humid Tennessee weather is tough on those air conditioners. All right, here comes the young Griffin Mertz machine out to the dirt to do the work. Griffin, go ahead and drive backwards down the straightaway there and find you a place to get settled in, and I'm going to send you guys live. Remember, you're racing just the clock, not each other, so it will serve you best to give some space in between everybody, okay? Don't everybody all take off at once. I'm going to send the tone live in less than 5. Space yourselves out. Here we go. Colby Hunt going to be the first on the draw, followed by Griffin Mertz in the Traxxas. Then Lennon Roulette. Camden Nolan playing it smart. Going to give himself plenty of space. That's the way we do it. Lennon Roulette finds his way all the way to the front for the first time by 28.08 for Lennon. Followed by Colby with a 33.96. Then Camden Nolan all the way up to the top of the board with a 27.57. Uh-oh, Camden upside down just under the crossover there. Ooh. Lennon Roulette back to the top again, a 26.85 that time. New fast lap of the race from Lennon Roulette. That's your clear body with the yellow wing and yellow wheels going up over the crossover right now. Young Lennon Roulette wanting to be the man to beat. Camden Nolan finds his way back to the top again, and then he's on his lid there at the end of the straightaway. A little help from Tim Brisbane, no problem. Colby Hunt in the 3, Griffin Mertz in the 4. Just over 3 minutes left to go. Ooh, almost getting tangled up over the crossover there, but everybody's able to collect themselves and keep it on all fours. That's what you want. That's Camden Nolan and Colby Hunt. Camden in the 1, Colby in the 3 right now. They got Lennon Roulette in between them. Camden upside down again in that same spot of the track. He'll have to get that particular part dialed in. Those truggies love getting together. Camden finds his way by up over the crossover. Colby now up over the crossover. Fast lap of the race, a 26.85 still held by Lennon Roulette, your current leader. Lennon all by himself there on the back stretch. He's going to come up on the back of Griffin Mertz. Griffin up over the pipe, going to let Lennon by, keep another lap on top of the board. Here comes Camden. What will that do? Camden stays in the 2 for now. He's bracketed up with Colby Hunt for the 2 and the 3. Camden upside down after the straightaway again. There might be a hole right there that his truck is catching or something. 135 left to go. 135 left to go. Spec Slash racers, you need to be on deck, ready to roll. Colby Hunt went a 26.34 last time by, and that's a new fast lap of the race. Colby bracketed up with Camden right now for the 2 and 3. Camden opens up the gap to 3.2 seconds between he and Colby. Here comes our leader down the straightaway, Lennon Roulette.
1 minute left.